What is up, guys? My name is Asteroid and welcome back to the MPL. It is currently week 8 and I am your proud coach of the Chicago Chandelures. But if you guys are excited for this match today, make sure to smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate that. If you guys did miss last week, I do recommend you guys go check that video out. It was pretty incredible. But anyways, without further ado, today we are facing Blake and the Baltimore Braviaries, also known as Moxie and Fernape. If you guys do want to see his end of the match and also his channel and stuff, link is down there, of course. And if you want to follow the MPL Twitter or the MPL YouTube, then that will be down there in the description as well. So, without further ado, his team is insane, and he's such a good battler. So I'm really nervous, but his team consists of the Manaphy, Infernape, Nidoqueen, Mega Glalie, which is pretty interesting, Skarmory, Raikou, Whimsicott, Braviary, look at that mascot pick, we have Crawdon, Tyrantrum, and Uxie. Now our team that we made to counter his team was pretty rushed. I made this team in a very short amount of time, so you'll see a few errors here and there, which I really hope don't cost us the match, but who knows. But first up here we have Pride, the Mega Sableye with Will-O-Wisp, Recover, Shadow Ball, and Poison Jab. So I wanted to bring Magic Bounce just for the Whimsicott, because I know Whimsicott can pull a lot of shenanigans on the status side of things. And then also Skarmory could try and set up rocks, he can go for the spikes, he can Whirlwind. So I wanted to make sure we had that Magic Bounce on our team. And that's kind of the main reason for Pride. He's pretty defensive with Will-O-Wisp. We can hopefully burn that Tyrantrum, probably also burn the Crawdon. Maybe burn the Nidoqueen as well. I'm not sure if Nidoqueen is primarily special or physical. I would assume it's probably mostly special. But yeah, Will-O-Wisp should be pretty useful. We have Recover for that HP recovery. Shadow Ball hits a lot of his team. And then Poison Jab does a huge amount of damage to the Whimsicott. You know, because I figured if we're going to use Magic Bounce to try and counter Whimsicott, I thought, you know, let's at least have something to where we can hit Whimsicott for some damage, because Shadow Ball does nothing, and he can just Moonblast us, and that's going to do a lot of damage. So I figured Poison Jab would not be that bad of a choice. Next up, we have Vinny, the Mew, with the Choice Specs, with Fire Blast, Psychic, Ice Beam, and Volt Switch. This Mew is all about damage. Like, that was my one concern with this Mew, was just to get damage and then outspeed some of his base 100s, because he has a lot of base 100 Pokemon on his team. So we have a bit of speed investment just so we can try and not have a speed tie in those situations. But for the most part, we're just max special attack with Fire Blast, Psychic, Ice Beam, Volt Switch. Volt Switch does a good amount to his team, so we can obviously get that momentum going. Ice Beam does a huge amount, Psychic does a huge amount, and Fire Blast does OHKO some Pokemon, like Glalie, I think it OHKOs. Next up, we have Brave Bird, the Talonflame with Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, U-Turn, and Taunt. Now, I didn't really have many plans with this thing. Basically what I did was I invested just enough speed to where we would outspeed his fastest Pokemon, that being Whimsicott. And I think Whimsicott is his fastest Pokemon. Yeah, I think Whimsicott is the fastest, unless Raikou, no, Raikou doesn't outspeed it. Yeah, I think just based on base speeds, Whimsicott is his fastest Mon. And seeing as Whimsicott does have Prankster, I wanted to make sure we just barely outsped that. So our priority goes before his priority. So Brave Bird should be able to hit first and OHKO it. We have Flare Blitz for Skarmory and stuff, U-Turn for the momentum, and then Taunt. So we can hopefully get a Taunt off on maybe Crawdon to prevent a possible sweep with Dragonance, or Taunt the Tyrantrum, because Dragonance is also an issue over there. We can Taunt Uxie, because you never know what Uxie might do. So Brave Bird, I figured, was a pretty good choice. Next up, we have Edward Eelric. Now, Edward Eelric really helps against Manaphy, because Manaphy is a huge threat with Tail Glow and Scald, and just the power behind Manaphy. So, with Edward Eelric, we can take a few hits with the Assault Vest, and then dish out a Thunder Punch, Knockoff, Drain Punch, or a U-Turn, depending on the situation. Thunder Punch does a huge chunk to Manaphy, and Knockoff does a good chunk to Uxie. We can also get rid of items here and there, so that should be nice. Next up, we have the MVP, the star of the show, the Choice Scarf. Yes, you heard me right. The Choice Scarf Lapras. Now, I have been wanting to run just a straight up absurd Lapras set for a long time now. And I figured we would take this chance to do it. So, we have a Choice Scarf Lapras. Now, Choice Scarf Lapras, it's not too usable, but I think it'll be pretty useful in this situation, because Choice Scarf Lapras allows us to outspeed pretty much everything except for maybe other Scarfers. And if the Raikou's timid, I think he outspeeds us. But if he's not timid, we outspeed him. Not that I'd be staying in on a Raikou, but still. But yeah, we do outspeed Glalie, of course. We outspeed Infernape, which is crazy. I think we do outspeed Infernape, even if he's plus speed. We outspeed Manaphy, of course. We outspeed a Crawdaunt, I think at +1. I think if Crawdaunt's adamant, and if he's +1 with Dragonite, I think we still outspeed him, which is nice. And of course, we're immune to water type attacks. So anyways, the main concern, or the main thing, or the main trouble I had with this Lapras is the moveset. Because I couldn't decide a good moveset. Like, Freeze Dry obviously hits a lot of his team, so I wanted that. Hydro Pump, like the water type attacks, do hit a lot of his team as well. And then Thunder, like, I literally put Thunder there just for Skarmory. Like, unless we're against the Skarmory, Thunder is useless. But there was nothing better I could have put on it. Like, I was thinking maybe Ancient Power, but that really doesn't help us out. And I was thinking maybe Ice Beam or Blizzard, but looking at his team, Hydro Pump or Surf or Freeze Dry will do more damage 99% of the time. I was thinking like Signal Beam for Uxie, but I think Hydro Pump does more anyway, so yeah, we have Nest. We'll see how this goes. I don't know, it's going to be interesting. Last but not least, we have Wrath, the Gobalion with Close Combat, Iron Head, Volt Switch, and Stealth Rock. The idea here is get up rocks. Close Combat should be able to handle the Tyrantrum, the Crawdaunt. We can Iron Head the Whimsicott. We can Volt Switch on Skarmory. We can Close Combat Glalie. So this thing is pretty much our counter to Glalie and Tyrantrum. Like, I built this thing in mind just to take on those two specific Pokemon because we needed a lot of defense and we needed a lot of bulk to take the hits from those Pokemon and then dish out damage in return. Now, there's one major error in this team, and that's the fact that we have no Defog. We have no Defog, no Rapid Spin, which is a huge mistake on my part. And there's really no way of me fixing this at this point, because I was thinking maybe we could teach Defog to Brave Bird as a last-minute attempt, or we could teach it to Mew, but I don't want to get rid of the specs, and I don't want to choice myself into Defog, so I don't know, man. There's definitely some changes I could have made, but I think we're just going to rely on Magic Bounce to keep the rocks off of our side of the field. Obviously, this could be a huge issue for Talonflame, but we'll see how it goes. So anyways, that being said, cue the Chandelure. Alright guys, here we are going in for our Week 8 match. I'm super excited, kind of nervous, not gonna lie. Our team was rushed, and I know he's a great battler, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna have Sean ready, and I mean, as long as we don't get 6-0'd, I'm fine. If we don't get 6-0'd, I will be satisfied. But yeah, we're gonna, let's see. Let's get ready to write down his team. He brought the Glalie. Okay, he has Glalie. He has Glalie, Tyrantrum, which is obviously a scary Pokemon. He has the Infernape. He has the Raikou. He has the Whimsicott. And the Nidoqueen. So, very, very scary team. He did not bring the Manaphy. He did not bring the Manaphy, which is great for me because I was afraid of that thing. Manaphy is a scary Pokemon. So, looking at the team, what do I lead with? What do I lead with? You know, I'm really considering leading with Lapras. I'm really considering it because with the Choice Scarf, we can outspeed everything. I mean, who knows? This Tyrantrum could be Scarfed. If he has a Scarf Tyrantrum, then that's going to be bad. That's going to be really bad. And obviously, we can't really touch Raikou. But if he leads with Whimsicott, Nidoqueen, Infernape, Glalie to some extent, or Tyrantrum, we can do damage to them with Ness. I mean, or Edward Yorick could be nice to lead with. Or Pride. You know, just get that Magic Bounce up right away. I don't know if Nidoqueen gets rocks. Like, I'm really, really afraid of rocks. Let's just lead with Pride. We can burn some things. We can kind of scout to some extent. We can Poison Jab the Whimsicott if he leads with that. He might try and get up some Leech Seeds or... I don't know what Whimsicott does. T-Wave? I really don't know what Whimsicott does. He leads with Nidoqueen. Okay. So, Nidoqueen has a 92 base attack stat and then a 75 special attack stat. I would assume it's kind of like... It's kind of like Nidoking. Like, I never fight Nidoqueens. But I would assume that it runs similar to Nidoking. Do I just, like, Mega Evolve and... I guess just get a Will-O-Wisp off. Just in case V is physical, then I guess we can get a burn off. But I mean, looking at his team, he has physical, 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 special. I mean, half his team is probably for sure physical. I mean, Infernape could be special, who knows. But, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna swap. And I guess we can go into Vinny. We should outspeed this thing unless he's Scarfed. Or we can go into Edward Ulrich, but Edward Ulrich really can't do much. I mean, we can knock off, but that's it. Or I can go into Lapras, but honestly, I don't want Lapras to take a T-Bolt or anything like that. Let's go into Vinny and just hope for the best. I'm really nervous because, like, a lot of his Pokemon I never battle, so I don't know exactly how they work. You know, you just don't see them too often. So there's the Earth Power. Can we take this hit? Not too well at all. Yeah, we did not take that well. Do I stay in? Okay, even if he's Scarfed, can he outspeed us? He has to be able to outspeed us if he's Scarfed. Yeah. 376. There's no way we're outspeeding that. There's no way we're outspeeding it if it's Scarfed. You know what? I'm gonna go into Edward Ulrich. I'm gonna go into Edward Ulrich. We're Assault Vest, so if he does predict it, then I guess rip. But I don't know. We should be able to take at least one hit. And if he goes for an Earth Power, or like if we swap in, he goes for Earth Power, and then he swaps out, then I guess we can assume he's Scarf. Like I don't want to bank on him not being Scarf and just sacrifice our Mew because I don't know. Because if he is Scarf, then our Mew is gonna die. He swaps. He swaps. Okay, going into Whimsicott. So I mean, I guess we can U-turn. Let's just U-turn. I don't know what to do. He might Toxic us. Like I really don't. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried. Does Whimsicott get Stealth Rock? I don't think so. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. Do you get Spikes? What do you get, Whimsicott? Encore, Cotton Guard, Leech Seed, Light Screen. So it gets screens. It might try and set up screens. If I could taunt this thing, that'd be amazing. So I think we'll U-turn out into Talonflame. Go for a taunt. Or maybe just straight away Brave Bird. I don't know, but if we go into Talonflame, he might swap into Tyrantrum or Raikou. Oh, man. I don't know. I hate to be that guy. Oh, he U-turns. So we both U-turn. Okay. I was gonna say, I hate to be that guy, but I think we lost. I think we lost. Like, just from the team preview, I think we lost. Like, I don't have much faith in this team. I would say this team is probably the most reckless team I've made. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, who knows? Maybe a miracle will happen and we can somehow pull through, but I have my doubts. And I'm sorry if you guys hear any background noise. There's people outside being kind of loud, so I apologize. I'll try and edit some of it out, but I don't know. So what's he gonna go into? I mean, U-turn doesn't really do much to his team. He might go into Glalie. Maybe Tyrantrum, because Tyrantrum can do a huge amount of damage. Tyrantrum is a beast. He goes into his Nidoqueen again. Okay. Okay, so we'll just U-turn. It's not going to do that much. I think we got to start doing out some damage. Like, we really just gotta dish out some damage. So, by the way he swapped out his Nidoqueen on my Mew, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I want to say he's not Scarfed. Because if he's not Scarfed, there's no way he would have stayed in on Mew. And that's what he did. He swapped out. But even if he was Scarfed, he might not stay in either way. Because, who knows, I could be Scarfed. You know? Like, do I risk him not being scarfed? Like, do I risk my Mew for him not to be scarfed? I don't think I do. I think the best play is to go into Ness. Because he probably doesn't expect a scarf on Lapras. So he might go for a T-Bolt. He might go for a T-Bolt, and assuming he's not scarfed. Wait, what is his base speed? It all depends on whether this thing is scarfed or not. I mean, if he's not scarfed, we outspeed. And Ness should be able to take at least one hit. And if he outspeeds Ness, then we know for a fact he's scarfed. So we can play off of that. I think the best play is just go for a Hydro Pump. Because even if he swaps into Whimsy, well, I guess actually Freeze Dry. Would Freeze Dry be the best play? He might go into Raikou or Whimsicott. Or do I just straight up Hydro Pump? You know what? Let's go for a Freeze Dry. Let's go for a Freeze Dry. That'll do over half of this thing easy. And Freeze Dry does overall more to his team, so we'll see what happens. I was considering running a physical Lapras, because we could run like Drill Run and Avalanche. I mean, Avalanche wouldn't exactly work out too well with the Choice Scarf. But he goes into Tesla. That's going to be the Raikou. Maybe I should have went for a Hydro Pump. I don't know. So we didn't stay in. I'm not sure why we get a freeze. Oh my god. Oh my god, now I feel bad. Now I feel bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We've had a lot of hacks in these battles recently. I'm gonna go for another Freeze Dry. He's gonna know we're scarfed once we outspeed him. And if he outspeeds me, then we'll know that he's timid. Or maybe he's running freaking Scarf Raikou. I don't know. He does outspeed us, which means he's probably timid. He has to be timid. So we went for a Freeze Dry. He'll probably swap into Infernape, maybe. I don't know if he'd want to take that big of a risk, though. He'll probably go into Glalie. Probably Glalie is his safest option. Because who knows, I could have went for a Water Type attack there, so he might not want to go into Infernape. I really hope he doesn't go into Infernape. Because Freeze Dry could do a good chunk to his team if he goes into anyone else, except for Glalie and Infernape. I don't know, maybe I should have went for a Hydro Pump in that situation. Maybe, I don't know. So, I mean, at least we know we can't outspeed the Raikou. I thought, well, we should have been able to. But at least we know he's a plus speed nature. Or he's running Scarf Raikou, which, that'd be interesting. So maybe Choice Scarf Lapras wasn't exactly the best idea. We might have been better off with like an Assault Vest Lapras or a Curse Lapras. He goes into Wrecking Ball, which is Glalie. I love that name. I freaking love Glalie too. Alright, but there's Freeze Dry. Now, this thing could explode. He could also Earthquake. I think the play to make is to either go into Pride or Wrath. Because Wrath can take all the hits. Even if he wants to go for an Earthquake, even if he wants to Earthquake, Wrath can take that hit. Because we're max defense, we can eat it up. Or I can go into Pride, possibly get a Will-O-Wisp off. I mean, if we go into Wrath, he might Earthquake. Or he might just explode. I don't know. But if we do go into Wrath, he might swap into Infernape, maybe. And then I guess predicting that, we could swap into Brave Bird. I mean, that would be a really risky play. But let's go into Wrath, and we'll see what happens. Because, like, Wrath was like my main counter to this thing. When I was building Wrath, I was thinking about Glalie. He's gonna Mega Evolve, so there is the Mega Glalie. Even if he wants to EQ, we should be fine. We should be just fine. And then we can close combat. He goes for a Super Fang. Wow. 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 Okay. Okay, that is... That is cool. I'm gonna close combat. That is cool. That is really cool, pun intended. You know, I was gonna run Super Fang Electros last week, I think. I'm gonna have to experiment with Super Fang, because it's not a bad attack. Super Fang is actually really nice for, like, I don't know, doing damage to walls. Like, that's half of my health just gone. You know? That's half of my health just straight up gone. So, let's try and keep Wrath alive. And I guess go into Edward Ulrich. Actually, you know what? Let's go into Brave Bird. I think a Brave Bird should do a decent chunk. Actually, you know what? Let's go into Edward Ulrich. Let's go into Edward Ulrich. He might go for an Earth Power, or he might predict it and go for something else. He might go for a Sludge Wave, so I didn't want to go into Talonflame because we were not going to take a hit. He goes for the Stealth Rock, which is very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Okay, now the question is, do I go for a knockoff? Or do I Drain Punch? I don't think he'll stay in. Will he stay in? I don't think so. I could just knock off. I'm gonna go for a knockoff. Even if he goes in the Glalie, that's fine. He goes for Sludge Wave, we can take that hit. We can take that hit. Okay, we did not take that hit well at all. I don't know why we did not take that hit well. I mean, I know it's a Sheer Force boosted Stephanie here, but I thought we would take it a lot better. I think the play to make is to go into Pride. Maybe? Because, I mean, the thing about Pride is we resist Sludge Wave. He doesn't have a Life Orb anymore. Let's go into Pride and just get the Magic Bounce up. And then we can Will-O-Wisp. Or Shadow Ball. Like, we can Will-O-Wisp, and even if he wants to go into Infernape would be a problem. But if he wants to go to Whimsicott, we can just Poison Jab. Like, our team is suffering a lot. We're taking way more damage than we need to right now. And I don't want to get 6-0'd. Let's just not get 6-0'd. We'll probably lose. I don't want to be negative, but we'll probably lose. I just don't want to get 6-0'd. So we can take a Sludge Wave all day, every day, right? He does not have the Life Orb anymore, so we should be fine. We should be just fine. We're taking that hit. That still did a lot of damage, which I'm not a fan of. I'm just going to go for a Recover. I'm going to go for a Recover. Even if he wants to swap into Infernape, that's fine. I just want to make sure that Pride is at a good amount of health. You know, I was thinking about Will-O-Wisping, but it wouldn't do much to this Nidoqueen, or Whimsicott, or obviously Infernape, so... Or Raikou, for that matter. I mean, it would literally only be useful unless he swapped into Glalie or Tyrantrum. So let's just recover, see what he wants to do. We could take a hit. I think. Maybe. Oh no. This is not good. Okay, we took that hit fairly well. I'm going to go into Talonflame and just hope he doesn't go for a Sludge Wave or a T-Bolt. I think he has to Earth Power because that's the only move that will somewhat even come close to killing us. And like, I know that we're going to take a lot from Stealth Rocks, but if we can just Brave Bird and get this thing out of here, I will be happy. I will be happy. He swaps, okay. Okay, so we're going into Talonflame here. He goes into... Okay, goes into Whimsicott. Now, could you imagine if I would have went for a Poison Jab? Could you imagine if I would have made that play? Alright, let's go into Brave Bird, though. We're going to take a lot from Rocks, but that's fine. That is A-okay. And I think I have to Brave Bird here. I mean, or I could Taunt. The problem is, though, is that Brave Bird is going to, for sure, out-prioritize his Prankster. Taunt is not priority, so it's not going to. So, if we go for a Taunt, he's going to be able to get a status attack off before we can Taunt him. If we Brave Bird, it probably will kill. I think it does kill. And he won't have a chance to do anything. There's probably a good chance I'll swap into Tyrantrum. I'm just going to Brave Bird. He does swap. Probably going into Tyrantrum. Yeah. Honestly, I could have went for a Taunt to maybe stop this thing from Dragon Dancing, but... I don't know, I think we're just going to have to sack Talonflame. I think we legitimately just have to sack Talonflame at this point. He's Rocky Helmet, so we know he's not Scarfed, which means Lapras can outspeed him. And I think we can survive the rock damage. I think we can. So, if we sack off Braviary, have a safe switch into Ness, he probably won't expect us to outspeed because Tyrantrum, hang on. Tyrantrum is base 71. And I doubt he expects Scarf Lapras. So it's good that we know he's not Scarfed. We can go into Lapras, outspeed, and body this thing. I'm going to Brave Bird once again. I know Talonflame's going to die, but that is A-okay. I actually, now that I think about it, I probably should have went for a taunt there. Because if this thing starts Dragon Dancing, well, even if he starts Dragon Dancing, we'll still outspeed with Lapras. He goes for a Dragon Tail. Okay, that's fine. That is just fine. Okay. Okay. I think we have this. Can Lapras get a kill? Can Choice Scarf Lapras actually get a kill? I think Choice Scarf Lapras can actually get a kill. We're living, right? Okay. There's no way he's going to expect the Scarf, right? Please stay in. Please stay in. Please stay in. Don't swap. Don't swap. Don't swap. Don't do it. Don't swap. Come on. Come on. Okay, if we're going to get 6-0'd, we might as well get 6-0'd in style. Right? We might as well get 6-0'd in style. If we could just... Yes! Yes! Choice Scarf Lapras! Choice Scarf Lapras for the win! We're not getting 6-0'd today, boys! Yes! Yes, we're not getting 6-0'd. We are not getting 6-0'd. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Yes! I freaking love Lapras, man. Freaking love Lapras. That is awesome. That is awesome. Tyrantrum was a huge threat. Tyrantrum was a huge threat. And now that it's out of the way, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. If he goes in Infernape, I'm gonna be really sad. Well, if he goes in Infernape, we have to just sack Lapras off. I think we have to sack Lapras off no matter what. Just because we can't swap in on rocks. And there's... I mean, I guess we could preserve him for Death Fodder later. But... we're gonna die when we swap in. So... it might be best just to sack him off now. I guess this is our... yeah. This is our consequences for not running Defog on anything. But King Julian, we can outspeed King Julian, I'm pretty sure. It'd be nice if we weren't choiced in a freeze dry and we can go for a Hydro Pump right now, like that'd be amazing. But we are choiced, so we're gonna go for a freeze dry. He goes for the Mach Punch, so never mind. I forgot about Mach Punch for a second there, so doesn't make a difference. Lapras goes down, which is unfortunate. That is fairly unfortunate. I guess the play to make is to go into Vinny. I don't think we're gonna survive a Flare Blitz though. I think Infernape kind of destroys our team. Infernape kind of wrecks us. Let's go into Pride, I guess. Because I don't want to go into Vinny because he's going to outspeed and just Flare Blitz us. I would go into Edward Elric, but we're not going to take a hit. Let's go into Pride. Pride's our best choice. You know, I'm just happy we didn't get 6-0'd. I'm just happy we didn't get 6-0'd. Let's just go for, I guess, a Shadow Ball or a Recover. Let's just Recover. Flare Blitz might just OHKO us, though. I don't know if we can take a Flare Blitz. Yeah. Rest in spaghetti, never forgetty. Rest in spaghetti, never forgetty. Rest in pasta, we're sad we lost you. So we know he's Life Orb. That's good to know. I mean, no matter what we do, he's just gonna body us. Unless Wrath can take a hit. I mean, it is our physical wall. Let's go into Wrath. I think Wrath has the best chance of taking a hit. Let's just go for close combat. I think Infernape sweeps us, though. I think Infernape literally just destroys our team. Which is unfortunate, but I mean... I'm just glad the Choice Scarf Lapras put in work. But yeah, just so you guys know, a little bit of an update. Can we take this? We cannot take that. There's no way. There's no way. And of course he gets a crit. Maybe without the crit, I don't know. I don't know. But just a little bit of an update for you guys. Week 9 is not going to be happening next week. We're taking a week break, I'm pretty sure. So week 9 will come back in 2 weeks. So we're taking a 1 week break from the MPL. But it'll be back 2 weeks from now. So stay tuned for that. Let's go into Vinny. Vinny's my best option. He's just going to Foil Blitz and body us, though. Infernape just cleans up our team. And there's no denying that. The only chance we have is if maybe he's not running max speed. And I guess we can somehow outspeed him. But there's no way Flare Blitz is going to body us, and that's GG. That's GG. Great game, man. You know, I could have probably... I definitely could have done better on the prep side. I definitely could have done a lot better. But I have been kind of busy lately with school and stuff. And I literally built this team this morning. So, like, I didn't really have much time to go over the team and really think about it. Let's Thunder Punch. But yeah, that's a good game. That's a good game. GG. We didn't get 6-0'd. We did not get 6-0'd, which is all I care about. But yeah, Blake, he's a fantastic battler, guys. Make sure to check him out, of course. His end of the battle is down there in the description as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to make a comeback, all right? Week 9, we're making a comeback. Week 9, we're making a comeback. All right? It's happening. It's happening. So, that being said, I'll see you guys later. And peace.